right, we're good? All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Richmond Olympic Oval. We're coming to you live, broadcasting Germany versus Ontario Thunder. Right now the game is 6-6. We have 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Ontario's inbounding Ben Perkins, Class 2. Pops it up to Mike Whitehead on the left side. Manages to gain half. Nice quick pass to Cody Caldwell streaking, and that's a goal. Germany looking to inbound. Germany is running a 3-5-2-2.5. They get it into their Class 2, Stefan. Who gets stopped by Ontario, and nice pick off there by Whitey. Jump in the passing lane and intercepting that pass. That's going to put Ontario up by 2. And it looks like Germany's calling a bench timeout here to regroup after that second turnover. So far, we've seen a really tight game. Ontario's really putting the pressure on Germany off the inbound. We'll see how Germany can respond here. See if they can regroup and settle the game down here. So again, Germany's got a 2-pointer inbounding. They run a quick give and go. And ball comes back to the middle. And cuts back again to the middle. Quick pop pass to Marco, who secures it. Sorry about that, folks. We're just having a little bit of technical difficulties getting the stream worked out, but we're back to you now. So Germany, Marco's got the ball in the center of the court. He's kind of dipping and diving, working his way up court. Oh, pass to nobody. Looks like another turnover for Germany. Ontario's going to inbound the ball here from the sideline, from the corner, and try to go up by 3. So Ontario's running a 3-2-2-1 with Michael Whitehead, Cody Caldwell, Ben Perkins, and Pico as the Class 1. And it looks like Cody Caldwell is inbounding here for Ontario from the sidelines. Pico running a screen with Mike Whitehead. The ball comes into Michael. He brings the ball to the middle. And a bit of a drag race up the right side. Whitey gains half. Quick little pop to Ben Perkins for the goal. That's going to put Ontario up by 3. Germany, Class 2 inbounds up to, I think that's Jasko, but doesn't manage to secure the ball, and another turnover for Ontario. Whitey, quick pop up to Cody, who scores on the right. Jens from Germany with the inbound. He's working over to the give and go, but pops the ball into Marco on the right side. Oh, just manages to secure that ball before it goes out of bounds. And with the long bomb up to Stefan, catches and scores. Nice pass by Marco there. Ben Perkins with the inbound to Mike Whitehead. A long bomb, tic-tac-toe up to Cody Caldwell. That's a quick strike offense by Ontario. And watch out for that. They're going to look to do that as many times as they can. That quick ball movement from Ontario is lethal. Germany with a long give and go between Jens and Britta. And Jens is pushing up the left side of the court. Gains half. And stopped just before goal. But looks like he manages to get the ball to Jasko for the goal. Quick inbound up to Ben Perkins on the left side. Manages to sneak over half using the wheels. Quick handoff to Pico. Gets a quick bounce in there. Germany's really putting some pressure on the ball here. Let's see how Ontario can come out of this. Oh, nice defensive pressure from Germany there to force that turnover. Marco's flying up the left side. Brings it back to the middle into a pile. Manages to get the ball out. Quick little pop pass. And a goal for Germany. Looks like we've just stopped play here for a quick equipment timeout. Michael Whitehead's got something going on with his wheelchair. Quickly taken care of. And back to the action. Ben Perkins with the inbound to Mike Whitehead. Slowly brings the ball back to the middle of the court, picks up his pick. And he's going to use that to explode up the court and gain half. Whoa, big hit. Big hit there. Not quite sure why Marco went over. Yeah, usually you don't want to fall over yourself when you do a hit. You're trying to knock the other guy over, but Marco must have put his whole body into that one. And I'm pretty sure they called a penalty goal on that. He must have fallen onto Michael Whitehead, so that's a penalty. Germany with a give and go. Mike Whitehead drops down to put some pressure on that ball. Pop up to Marco, who's going to look to wheel it across half. Picks up his pick, gains half on the right side of the court. Cuts back to the middle after deking out a couple of Canadian players and gets the goal. Ben Perkin takes the ball for the inbound. Germany set up a steel door with Britta, their class 1. Ball comes into Cody, who's going to use Pico to gain advantage and get that ball across half. And gets a 2-on-1. Easy pass to Michael Whitehead for the goal. Germany's done a good job in transition here. It looks like Josko's got Pico trapped way down near the Ontario goal. And we'll see if they can get the ball up to him. He's got the mismatch, but Cody's doing a great job keeping the ball low and keeping that pressure on, and it looks like Germany's throwing the ball away. I think they use a timeout there. So Ontario's going to set up in the key, and we'll see what Germany's key offense looks like. So all 4 players for Canada right now, or for Ontario, are on the Canadian national team. Obviously, this is a German national team competing here today. They are ranked 11th in the world, and Canada is currently ranked 6th in the world. So this is quite a tough matchup for Germany, but this is what they're looking for in preparation for European Championships this August, where Germany's going to look to have an improved performance. So Germany inbounds the ball here, and they're going to set up for their key offense. All 4 attacking together, and it runs like clockwork. That was nicely done by Germany. You can tell that they've been practicing that because they all attacked together in sync and really exploited the static defense. Germany runs the give and go. Michael is putting on a lot of pressure, manages to separate the low point from the high point, but she manages to get the ball to Marco, who pops it up to the 2-pointer, who can't quite control his chair as he makes that catch and ends up falling over. And that's going to be a turnover for Germany, unless they call the timeout. I think he managed to call a timeout on that one. You only have 4 timeouts, so Germany's been using a few of them so far this game, so they're going to run out of those get-out-of-jail-free cards pretty quick here if Ontario can manage to keep up this pressure. The old backwards goal there from Germany from Jens on the left side of the key. Nice work. Nice inbound to the Michael Whitehead running the screen with Pico. Gives the ball back to Cody. Who gets it across half, brings the ball back to the middle of the court. It's just going to do some dipping and some weaving. Germany's going to drop back into a key defense. And Ontario's going to have to run their key offense play here. They're tying up Marco on the left side. And they're going to let Whitey and Cody run 2-on-3. And nice little pop pass to Whitey, who uses his height, works his way into the key and scores that goal. And that's it for the first quarter. Ontario 16, Germany 13. I'm going to take this time to thank some of the sponsors of the 20th Vancouver Wheelchair Rugby Invitational. So I would like to thank the government of British Columbia, Via Sport, Richmond Sport Hosting, the Richmond Olympic Oval, that's the venue that the tournament's taking place at this year, Wheelchair Rugby Canada, the Sheraton Vancouver Airport Hotel, Nando's McClellan's Road location, Save On Foods, Cobb's Bread Bakery Garden City, Starbucks, Cliff Bar, Boston Pizzas, the Ackroyd location, Chair Stuff, BC Rehab Foundation, Murphy Batistas LLP, Postmark Brewing, and Palm Natural Market Port Coquitlam. In that first quarter, I was really impressed by Ontario's defense. They've really been putting the pressure on Germany, forcing them into tough passes, which Ontario's been able to pick off. I don't expect to see any subs. I expect to see the same lineup starting the second quarter. I think Germany's strongest lineup this tournament has been their 3-5-2-2.5, and I expect them to keep running with it. But it looks like Christian Riddell has come in for Britta, and we have Jens and Jasko as the two-pointers, and Marco as the German 3.5. So far this Germany, Ontario has been undefeated, and Germany's only lost one game yesterday to Quebec, which went to overtime. So Ontario starts the quarter with the ball. Germany's dropped into a key defense. Ontario runs their offensive play and secures a goal. Jens inbounds for Germany. Quick give and go. Pops up to Jasko. Oh, Pico manages to get a hand on that pass, and it goes out of bounds. Jens coming over to inbound. And up the sideline to Jasko, who secures that ball. He's getting pressure from two Ontario players, but manages to get back to Jens on the right side. Into the middle to Jasko. It's quite the crowd in the middle of the court there. Back to Jens on the left side. Finds some open space on the left for the goal. Cody Caldwell for Ontario with the ball behind the baseline. Looking for somebody to get it to. He finds Whitey on the left side, who brings it to the middle, picks up his pick. Going to try to work that ball up the court. Heads up. Pico gets that pass and pops it up to Ben. Nice ball movement from Ontario. Bit of a sticky situation on that one, but they managed to sneak it out. Jens for Germany gets that ball behind the baseline. Christian's going to draw for a give and go. Jens is surveying the court. Finds Jasko, who manages to get open and gets it across half. Up to Marco. Nice ball movement from Germany. Cody with the ball. Quick inbound to Whitey on the left side. He's going to drag race Marco. Turns back, pulls up. Oh, looks like the refs called the play dead. And it looks like we have a turnover. Cody, I think, had leaving the court violation. So it's going to be German ball. And that's a big turnover for Germany. They're going to try to secure this point and look to get a little bit closer here in the terms of the score. And they managed to score successfully. So that's going to bring the point difference back to 2. Nice long bomb from Whitey there. Finds Ben Perkins streaking and scores the point. Jens making his way back for Germany for the inbound. Oh, turns away. Usually the refs, yeah, okay. Christian got transitioned, so he called inbound. It's not often you have a low point inbound on a balanced lineup like this, but Germany feels like when that low point gets transitioned that they want to have him call inbounder so he's not out of the play. And it works out. They find Josko on the right side of the court for that goal. Ben Perkins tries to run in that give and go, but Josko was backed into Pico and gets a hand on it and knocks it out of bounds, so it stays Ontario ball. Cody makes his way over to the corner for the inbound. Pico streaking deep. Cody finds Whitey. And Ben comes in for the crack block, but doesn't quite free up Whitey on that first time around. And I think Ontario's going to call a timeout here, as they were getting pretty close to 12 seconds. In the sport of wheelchair rugby, you have, once the ball is inbounded, you have 12 seconds to get it over half court. And once you're over half court, you can't come back until you score, just like in basketball. So your 4 on-court timeouts are, you have 30 seconds to discuss, maybe grab a quick water, and get back out there. Ben Perkin calls inbounder. Cody Caldwell is spacing out deep. Whitey's going to use Pico for a screen. Ball comes into Whitey, pops it back to Ben, who's wide open, and is going to streak for the goal. Nice push by Ben. Jens is there for the inbound for Germany. Runs a quick give and go with Christian. Ball back to Jens. Pops it up to Josko, who finds Marco wide open deep. Cody and Ben did a good job to recover on defense there and stop that breakaway goal. Marco's going to work that ball back to the middle of the court, where Whitey is waiting for him. Ball back to Jens in the middle of the court. Ontario's really putting the pressure on here. Nice. Lucky, a little bit lucky there from the Germans. That ball bounced around a bit, but Marco finally gets his hands on it and secures the try for Germany. Nice speed from Whitey there to beat Jens. Gains half court, takes a big hit. He's going to post up, look for a pass. Pico comes across for the pick. Whitey's going to advance up the court and finds an open corner, courtesy of Pico. Jens calling inbounder, draws back, takes that ball. He's got Christian for the give and go. He's going to use it. Ball back to Jens. Ben's there and Pico putting a lot of pressure on Jens on the baseline. He's going to have a tough time getting the pass out. And he calls a timeout. Good call from Germany there. They were under some pressure. Ontario's really applying the pressure. They're just putting one player on the give and go, so they're they're almost baiting Germany to use it. And as soon as the ball comes in, another Ontario player is breaking off and attacking and catching Jens right on the baseline with that ball. We'll see if Germany is going to adjust anything here on their offense. Instead of setting up a straight give and go, their other option is to have their 0.5 Christian screen for Marco, their three-pointer. Looks like they just tried that, but Ontario gets a turnover, and Whitey drives it down the middle of the key to score. Jens is going to get that inbound again. Finds Josko on the left side. He did a good job getting open against Whitey. Pops it back to Jens. Jens pops the ball to Josko, who pops it up to Marco. Nice ball movement from Germany. Ben gets it in for Ontario, finds Whitey on the left side. He drives the ball to the middle, spots Cody streaking deep, and hits him with a pass. Nice quick goal from Ontario. You always have to watch for those over-the-top goals. When you're playing defense, it's deflating to have the other team score so easily. So you really have to ensure that you have one of your defensive players covering that over-the-top pass. Germany does quick give and go. Jens coming up to the middle of the court. Finds Marco. Marco's going to drive it back to the middle. Working against Whitey one-on-one, and finds the right side of the key for a try. Cody quick inbound to Whitey. Cody comes across for the crack block. Whitey passes it up to Cody. And we have a 2-on-1. And easy goal. Jens finds Marco on the right side of the court. Cuts back to the middle. Deeks past Pico. And he pulls up. Oh, tough pass there to Jens. It was just a little bit behind Jens. Had a tough time trying to bring it back in. And I think it's going to be Ontario ball. We've got some subs coming on for Ontario. Eric, 0.5, and Rio Kovacs, 16-year-old, a newer athlete in the sport of wheelchair rugby. So Ontario's got a 3-2-5, 2.5 lineup on the court. Ontario drops back in the key. Germany runs their key offense. Nice work from Germany there. Pretty tight quarters, but they managed to find Jens, who gets the ball and sneaks it in for a goal. Whitey gets the inbound for Ontario. Comes across, cracks defender off of Rio, or tries to. Doesn't quite work. And he's got a tough pass to Rio there. Rio just couldn't quite get his hands on it. It was nicely placed, but it had a bit of heat on it. And it goes right through. Ontario puts 2 on Marco. Marco gets the ball. Working against Rio. Whitey comes in for a little bit of help. Marco still working the ball up. Gains half court. Weaving through the Ontario team and finds the key for a goal. Nice work from Marco. Cody Caldwell takes the ball for Ontario. Gets it into Whitey. Whitey pushes with it to the middle. Dipping and weaving his way up court. Using Eric well. Finds Cody. Gets that ball across half. Cody draws 2 defenders. Pops the ball to Rio for Rio's first goal of the game. Nice work. Germany runs quick give and go. Jens gets that ball back. Pops that ball up to Josko. Nice get from Josko. Oh, nice pass. He was about to get hit right on the line there. Would have been a turnover, but good heads-up play from Josko. So be aware of that and get that ball out of his hands and into Marcos, who punches it in for a try. Ball comes into Whitey. Nice push from Whitey. Streaks up the right side of the court. Pushing well. Drives it to the middle of the court. And easy goal for Ontario. Jens gets that ball. Runs the give and go. Oh, hands off to Marco, who's right beside him. Marco uses that speed to bust up the left side of the court. Long pass to Josko, and easy goal for Germany. Nice pass. Cody looking to inbound for Ontario. Nice long pass, utilizing Whitey's height to get that ball in. Pops it back to Cody, who streaks up the right side. Pulls back. He's looking to offload the ball. Oh, finds Whitey, but Jens was right there to knock it away. Marco secures that fumble, pops it up to Jens, who's gonna push it in. This is gonna bring the score back closer. So that was a good turnover for Germany. They're looking to get back in this game. If Germany has any designs on finishing first, this is a must-win game for them. Long inbound to Whitey, who's got 2 German defenders on him. And the German, I think Christian gets a little bit too handsy there and takes a penalty. He's going to make his way over to the penalty box. So he's going to be in there for 1 minute or until Ontario scores, which they should, 4-on-3 here. Ben Perkins has made his way onto the court, and Pico as well. So Rio and Eric have gone back on the bench, and we're back to the starting lineup for Ontario. Germany's going to, since they're shorthanded, they're going to drop back 3 guys in the key. Ontario's looks like they're managing the clock here, just biding their time until they score. They're going to look to score around 52 seconds, and that way they're setting up a 2-for-1 on possessions. So in wheelchair rugby, you have a 40-second shot clock. You have to score within 40 seconds. So by scoring with about 52 seconds left on the clock, they're going to ensure they have last possession. Germany gets the ball into Josko, who works his way up the court. Finds Marco on the right side. Marco's going to punch it in for a goal around 40 seconds. Cody gets the ball. Works his way over, runs a give and go with Pico, back to Cody, gets a hit, spins away, fights through 2 German defenders, and Jens is going to get called for a reach there. Nice strength by Cody to force it right between 2 German defenders there. Long pass up to Cody. He's going to pull up. Ontario's going to look to score last goal. Last goal of the quarter is quite important in wheelchair rugby. You either prevent... so if you have possession at the start of the next quarter, you're going to go up by 1. If the other team has possession at the start of the quarter, you're going to preserve the lead. You're going to keep the same score. Whitey's going to work it in this key where he holds up, which is working that clock down, and puts it across with 4 seconds left. Germany, quick inbound to Marco down low, long pass, Ben intercepts, and that's it for the quarter. So at the end of the second quarter of Ontario versus Germany, the score is 28 for Ontario, 26 for Germany. We'll take a moment here to thank the government of British Columbia, Via Sport, Richmond Sport Hosting, the Richmond Olympic Oval, Wheelchair Rugby Canada, the Sheraton Vancouver Airport Hotel, Nando's Chicken, the McClellan Road location, Save On Foods, Cobb's Bread Bakery Garden City, Starbucks, Cliff Bar, Boston Pizza, the Ackroyd Road location, Chair Stuff, BC Rehab Foundation, Murphy Batistas LLP, Postmark Brewing, and Palm Natural Market Port Coquitlam for sponsoring the 20th Vancouver Invitational. So far the game's gone as expected. I was expecting a very, very tight match between these two teams. Ontario's really applied the pressure in that first half. I think Germany's a little bit lucky to have the score as close as it is. Although I shouldn't take away from Germany. They've been playing very well and forcing some turnovers while they're on defense. So great job by Germany. They've got quite a young team here this year. A lot of new faces on it. I've been pretty impressed with Josko Wilkie, the two-pointer. I hear he's only 17 years old. He's already got some pretty good speed and very good court sense. I can see him having a really good career in wheelchair rugby. Marco as well. He's been playing for a number of years, but he looks much improved this year. I know talking with some of the German players, they had a pretty disappointing finish in the European Championships last year. I believe that they finished 6th place behind Poland. I know that they're here this year at the Vancouver Invitational looking for some good competition in preparation for European Championships this August, where they're going to look to improve on their 6th place finish from last year. And they're looking very, very polished. Their players know what they need to do on offense and defense, and they're having quick transitions to get there. Yes, I've been very impressed with Germany. As I mentioned earlier, they're playing against an Ontario team, which is made up of a lot of national team members for Team Canada, who are ranked 6th. So Germany being ranked 11th, it's quite a tough matchup for them. But this is what they need if they want to get better. They need to play some of the better teams in the world, and Team Ontario are definitely qualify as one of those teams. In terms of lineup for the second half, I expect Germany to keep running their 3-5-2-2.5, and I would expect Ontario to have their starting lineup, the 3-2-2-1 out there. In the sport of wheelchair rugby, you're allowed 8 points on the court at any time between 4 athletes, and every athlete is classified and given a point value ranging from 0.5 to 3.5, and that's based on the type of disability that they have and how many muscle groups that they have working. So if you're a higher point player, you generally have more muscle groups that are functional, so you'll be able to push your wheelchair a little bit faster, be a little more agile, and be able to throw the ball further. If you're a lower point player, you're not looking to be carrying the ball as much as the higher point players are, but you're going to be looking to help them advance the ball up the court by setting screens and picks and helping them push up the court. So Germany is starting with Stefan, Josko, Marco, and Christian. And Ontario's got Mike, Ben, Cody, and Pico. Germany's going to start the second half with the ball. If they can score this point, they're going to bring the score within 1. Marco gets the ball. They're going to set up their key offense. Look for them all to attack at the same time with speed. And here they go. Marco crosses over, gets stopped by Pico, keeps working his way in, and Ontario's going to take a reaching foul. Germany had Christian was open there on the left side, so Marco was trying to get that ball up to pass to Christian, and Michael Whitehead reaches in there with the big old paw and takes a penalty. So Germany's going to inbound the ball from the side and go 4-on-3. Ontario's putting on the pressure, trying to deny. Germany finds that give and go, pops it up to Marco, who pulls up, allowing the German low point to make his way over to the penalty box to try to seal Mike Whitehead as he comes out. Germany puts it in. Mike calls inbounder. Germany looks to deny here. They've got 2 defenders on Ben. Whitey finds Cody on the left side. Cody works the ball back to the middle, up to Whitey, who finds an opening on the right side, pushes it across half, cuts back in. Still pushing, finds the left, and works his way in for a try. Jens takes the ball. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication there. He thought Stefan was going to streak deep there, and he put the ball down the middle in anticipation of that. But Stefan had other thoughts, and that's going to be a turnover. Oh, never mind. Runs a quick give and go. Pushes up the middle. Nice speed from Jens. Beats Whitey. Pulls up. Finds Stefan on the left. Quick try for Germany. Ben. That turnover recovered by Germany. Marco brings the ball back to the middle of the court, using that agility of his to gain half court. Works his way. Oh, he's getting swarmed by 3 Ontario players. Pico leaves, but Ben and Whitey work that ball. He finds Jens though for the out. Jens backing up all the way across the try line. Nice goal from Jens. And that brings the score to within 1. Ben looking to inbound. Finds Whitey on the left side. Wide open over top. Easy goal. Pico drops down here for a give and go. Oh, sorry. No, Christian from Germany runs a low point inbound, finds the ends, pops it up to Stefan, who finds Marco, streaking to the goal. Ben uses Whitey's height to get the ball in. Whitey uses that great range of his to find Cody open over the top, gives him the ball, and Cody pushes across the line. Christian calls inbounder. He's going to work his way back. Ontario's got Whitey and Ben covering Marco. Pico's covering over the top. Cody's pressuring the give and go. Ball comes in. Yen works with his pick to come up the middle of the court. Gets stopped by Pico, finds Stefan, who finds Marco. Nice ball movement from Germany. Good 3 versus 3 attack from Germany. They were well spaced out. Whitey works his way in for that inbound. Picks up Ben up, works his way up the court. Attracts a lot of attention, finds Pico open over the top. Easy catch for Pico, puts it across for a goal. Jens gets that inbound for Germany, finds Stefan on the right side. Stefan back to Jens. Big hit by Ben. Jens almost goes over there, but manages to come back down on all 4 wheels. Finds Marco, who works his way across half court. Drives into a crowd, but finds a hole and scores a try. Christian from Germany is set up in a steel door here to trap Ben after he inbounds. Has some success, but Whitey, who got the inbound, finds Cody open over the top for an easy goal. And Christian from Germany is called inbounder. He's going to hustle back. Jens is going to stay low for that inbound. Stefan on the right side of the court. Marco's getting doubled by Ben and Pico on the left side. Ball comes in. Stefan works his way up the left. Oh, the pass gets... Ontario gets a hand on that. Causes the pass to be short. Whitey recovers and punches it in on the left side. Jens takes that inbound for Germany. Finds Stefan on the left. Stefan pushes up the left side. It's going to get jumped by Ben and Whitey near the half-court line. Now Cody's working him. Finds Marco. Marco's in a crowd, but manages to push his way out. Challenges the left side, but back across. Oh, Jens is in a dangerous spot here. He's trying to hold on. Whitey's trying to shove him out. And he does get put out of bounds, so that's going to be a turnover. Tough play for Germany there. Yeah, Jens, that's a tough one. I mean, they had the ball over half safely. I don't think they needed to rush that goal. If Jens is a bit more careful, I think Germany manages to score on that possession. I think they use a timeout because they get the ball back, so good use from a timeout from Germany. Marco works the ball in the middle court. And Ontario's going to transition here. Ontario's actually shorthanded here. So Germany was taking their time to score, but they do. Ben comes back on. Whitey calls inbounder. Runs give and go with Pico. Works his way across half court. Finds Ben. Nice goal for Ontario. Christian's called inbounder for Germany. Jens is within range, sets up within range, gets that inbound, starts working with Christian, pops it up to Marco, who's weaving through the middle of the court, finds Stefan streaking to the goal, wide open, gets him the ball. Good try for Germany. Ben finds Cody for the inbound. Cody looks up court, sees Whitey streaking, and gets him the ball. Ontario strikes back. Christian again got caught in transition, forcing him to call inbounder. Jens works his way down into the inbounding range. Christian gets the ball to Stefan on the left. He's going to challenge that left side. Ben makes his way over, stops him. Pico comes in to apply the pressure. Stefan gets it to Marco, who again gets swarmed by two Ontario players, but he finds Jens on the right side. He challenges that right side of the key. And no goal. That's going to be an in and out on Germany. Nice defense from Ontario. Ontario's really looking to put two defenders on the ball, get that ball stopped, try to turn the chair, force a bad pass, while the other two players cover passing lanes. Ontario's also doing a great job of recovering, so after the ball is moved, the defenders that are caught behind the play hustle back and work their way back into the play. When you're playing against that sort of defense, it can really feel like there's six players on the court against you, because they're just everywhere. Every time you look up, there's another player in your face. We got some subs for Germany. Young number 5 from Germany, Josko, is back on the court for Jens. Ontario gets the ball into Whitey, finds Cody on the right side. Another try for Ontario. Josko for the inbound for Germany. Finds Stefan, working the screen with Christian. Gonna pop it up to Marco there. It's gonna work against Ontario in the middle of the court. Finds an open left side and punches it in. Germany doubles Whitey. Whitey uses his height to get that inbound in. Back to Cody, who's gonna work with Pico. Advance up the court. Gets it across half. Finds Ben wide open on the left side. Another try for Ontario. Jasko inbounding for Germany. Finds Stefan. Stefan's going to wheel down, pick up his pick. Weave back across the court. Gains half. Gets stopped. Finds Jasko. Oh! Tries to get the ball to Marco, but Marco's picked at just the perfect moment, forcing the turnover. Ontario recovers. Works the ball up to Whitey. And another goal for Ontario. They're going to wind down the clock a little bit before they score. Jasko again inbounding for Germany. Nice chest pass over to Stefan. Finds Marco streaking. Makes his way back to the middle of the court. Sees Jasko on the left side. Nice pass. Good try for Germany. Quick inbound from Ontario. Whitey gets the ball. Sees Cody wide open over the top. Gets on the ball. Quick strike back from Ontario. Christian's called inbounder for Germany, so he's working his way back. As Ontario transitions, trying to set up their perfect defense. Cody's pressuring that Stefan, who gets the ball. Stefan's working well with Christian up the right side of the court, but not a great pass. Ben is right there to intercept. Gets the ball up to Whitey, who's just across half. Marco's putting some pressure on him, trying to shove him across the half-court line, and forces Ontario to call a timeout. Nice pressure from Marco there. Great effort level. Even though they just turned it over, Germany doesn't give up, keeps working hard, and they get that turnover back. Great job from Germany. We're going to need to see some more fight like that from Germany if they want to make their way back into this game. They're down by 4. A minute 23 left in the third quarter. One more 8-minute quarter after this. Germany's going to have to work hard if they want a chance to win this game. Ben setting up on the sideline for the inbound for Ontario. Finds Pico for the give and go. Pico gets the ball back to Ben. Ben finds Whitey. Whitey's going to do some dipsy doodles in the middle of the court. Draw 2 German defenders. Spins out on the left side. Nice burst of speed. Cuts in front of Stefan. Finds Ben. Nice try from Ontario. Puts them up by 5. Jasko for Germany with the inbound. Finds Marco in the middle of the court. Going to work his way past Pico. Gets it across half court. Ontario does a great job of recovering well, and they drop into key defense. Marco thought he saw an opening on the left side, but Whitey closes it. Drives it down the middle. 2 Ontario players are there to meet him. Germany need to set up a play here. They're being a little bit individual, and when you're trying to beat the key all by yourself, you're not going to have success very often. But they sneak it in on that try. Cody with the inbound for Ontario. Ben's open over the top. Ball comes into Whitey. Back to Cody. Cody and Ben's got a 2-on-1. Ben keeps it spaced out on the right side. Cody doesn't get him the ball though. Pulls up. Back to Whitey. Ontario's going to look to score last goal with working the clock down. Ball over to Cody on the right side. And a goal with 4 seconds left on the clock. Germany runs quick give and go. Marco bombs it full length of the court, but there's nobody there. And that's it for the third quarter. Ontario 42, Germany 37. Nice strong quarter from Ontario there. They managed to extend their lead by a couple of points. Germany had managed to bring the score within 2 at one point, but they just couldn't keep that flow going. And Ontario kept applying the pressure and forced turnovers. A 5-point lead is not insurmountable in one quarter, but it's looking pretty unlikely that Germany's going to be able to come back here. And it looks like Germany's going to sub out their balanced lineup, or they're going to sub out Marco and bring in number 10, Michael Volter. And they're running with Jasko and Jens, and we've got a new low pointer on the court for Germany, Florian at 1.0. So Germany's running a 3-2-2-1. And we see Ontario, looks like they're going to keep with the same lineup with Michael Whitehead, 3.0 for Team Ontario, Cody Caldwell, 2.0, Ben Perkins, 2.0, and Patrice Desjardins, 1.0. Patrice Desjardins also goes by Pico. Ball comes into Cody. He's going to work on the right side with Ben Perkins. They drive in against the German key. Cody finds Whitey open on the left side of the key, gets on the ball. Easy goal for Ontario. Florian's going to inbound for Germany here. And that's a turnover. Pico picks off that pass, gives it to Cody. Cody pulls up, absorbing the German pressure. Finds Whitey on the left side with a nice steal from Pico and puts that goal in for Ontario. Florian again inbounding for Germany. Finds Jasko. Jasko, good burst of speed up the right side. Pops it over the top for Jens. Nice catch under a little bit of pressure there from Whitey. Puts it across from Germany. Ben quick inbound, quick give and go with Pico. Brings it back to the middle. Uses Pico well, beats Jens. Gonna get it across half. Finds Mike in the middle of the court. Goal for Ontario. Jens taking the inbound for Germany. They're switching up their inbounder here. Florian runs the give and go. Jens finds Jasko on the left side. Jasko brings the ball back to the middle. He's going to try to pick up Florian. Pico stops Jasko. I think Jasko uses a timeout there. He's looking to try to get that ball across half with a pass, but Pico managed to turn his chair, forcing the German timeout. Jens is going to inbound from the sideline for Germany. Florian is going to set a screen for the German Michael, who uses his height. Ontario takes the penalty here. So when that ball, fighting for that ball, Whitey must have made contact with the German Michael and gets a penalty for it. Germany inbounds the ball across half. Jasko finds Michael, who's battling against Ben and Pico. Now Ben pops it to Jens, who's going to back in for another try for Germany. That's the second time Jens has backed in for a goal for Germany in this game. I wonder if that's his signature move. And we have a bench timeout for Ontario. So each team has 4 on-court timeouts that last 30 seconds, and as well as 2 bench timeouts that last for 1 minute. You're not allowed to use a bench timeout while the play is going on. You have to wait for a whistle to stop play, and then you can indicate that you want to take a bench timeout. Usually they're to get a substitutions in or quickly talk strategy. Coach wants to change up the tactics that the team is using. Maybe to get a quick rest for a certain player or a quick drink of water. Ben's going to work his way behind the baseline here to inbound for Ontario. Finds Whitey. Whitey looks up court, finds Cody. Wide open, easy goal for Ontario. Germany's really going to have to find a way to put some pressure on the Ontario offense if they want to find a way back into this game. Right now, Ontario's offense is running very smoothly, and it looks like their defense has caused another turnover. Cody secures that ball, finds Whitey, copies Yen's move with the back end goal. Another goal for Ontario. Jens finds Jasko on the left side. Gonna use that speed to work his way through two Canadian defenders for the try on the left side of the key. Ben with a quick inbound for Ontario finds Whitey, who then finds Cody. Last couple of offensive possessions for Ontario have all looked very, very similar. Ball comes into Whitey, who pops it over the top to Cody. Jasko with the ball, coming up the right side. Finds Michael. Nice goal for Germany. Nice 2-on-1 for Germany. Michael's going to use his height to try to get in front of Whitehead to deny that inbound. Ball comes into Pico instead, who's going to push with the ball. Hands it off to Michael. Uses his speed. Drives up the middle of the court, gets across half. Battle of the Michaels here. Germany takes a reaching penalty. That was some better defense from Germany. They really stopped that easy over the top goal. It was unfortunate they took a penalty there, but they made Ontario work a little bit harder for that one there. Ben finds Cody. Looks back to Ben. Ontario's going to run out some time here. No urgency to score. Going to set up their transition. Cody's got the box sealed. Forces Michael to call inbounder for Germany. Oh, just maybe a little bit too much air on that inbound. Gives enough time for the Canadian defenders to make their way over there and get a hand on that ball. Luckily for Germany, the ball goes out of bounds off the Canadian hand, so they're going to retain possession. Ball comes into Stefan. Just going to drive it up the left side. Gets across half. Cuts his way back to the middle. Whoa, nice hand there by Benny. Managed to get that ball out as Stefan was trying to dribble. Whitey recovers and drives it in for Ontario. Jens again to inbound, runs a give and go with Florian. Ball back to Jens. Makes some moves. Draws two Canadian defenders. Ben does a great job of funneling him to the left side where Pico is waiting for him. Ball comes back to the middle to Michael, but Cody is right there. And I think that's going to be a turnover for Ontario. Nice pressure from the Canadian players there to force that 12-second violation turnover for the Germans. Germany's going to drop back into the key. Going to trust their key defense to try to get a turnover here. Ontario gets the ball in. We also have some subs for Ontario, so Rio Kovacs and Eric Rodriguez are back in for Ontario. Cody's in the corner with the ball, finds Whitey in the middle. And I believe we have a Ontario timeout. I think one of the Ontario players was caught in the key. You're only on offense. You're only allowed in the key for 10 seconds. So a strategy that defensive teams will use is try to hold a player in there for that full 10 seconds to force the turnover. So Ontario, sensing that, used a timeout to avoid the turnover. Ball comes in. Cody's got it on the right side. Cuts back to the left. Finds an opening and puts it through. Jens with the inbound for Germany. Uses that give and go from Florian. Spins around, finds Michael in the middle for the pop. Michael drives it up the middle of the court. Stefan is... Sorry, that's Stefan with the ball. Finds Yen on the right side. Whitey was there to stop that. Forces him back to the middle. Cody and Whitey stop Jens from driving through that gap. And we have an illegal use of hands from Cody Caldwell, number 9 for Ontario. Germany with man advantage, get the ball in, ball back to the inbounder, pops it over to Stefan, who puts it down the middle of the key for a try. Cody's going to come back on for Ontario and make his way down for the inbound. Whitey gets it within range, posts up, gets that inbound. He's looking up court, trying to find out an open man. Cross court pass to Cody, gets across half in time, and puts it in for another try for Ontario. Jens making his way back for the inbound for Germany. Utilizes that give and go with Florian. Pops it up to Michael. Beats his man across half. Drives it to middle. Finds Stefan on the right. Puts it through. Not sure what happened there on that inbound. I think Cody and Rio had a bit of a communication fault there. I think Cody was expecting Rio to turn back and put the ball behind him. But Rio had other ideas, and the ball goes out of bounds. So it's going to be German ball here on the side. And they have Britta, their class 1 inbounding. Ontario's looking to deny the inbound here, but the ball comes in to height. Pops it back to Marco, who's gonna try to drive it in the left side, but Whitey was waiting. Spins there, Whitey's and manages to find that gap. Cody with the inbound, finds Eric for the quick give and go. Uses Eric to get past Michael, number 10 from Germany. Gets that 2-on-1 with Rio. Pops the ball up to Rio, who's wide open. And easy try for Ontario. Britta for Germany is going to inbound. We have Rio covering over the top for Ontario. Ball comes to Marco in the middle of the court. Going to use his agility to try to get it across half with the ground game. And he is successful and draws a penalty from Canada. Cody Caldwell is going to make his way back to the box. This is the first time we see the German high-low lineup on the court. So they have their 3-5-3, 1-1, and 2 1s on the court. So expect Marco and Michael from Germany to handle the ball the most. They might dish it off to a low pointer for a catch and score type opportunity, but for the most part, the 2 high pointers are going to be handling the ball for the majority of the time. Michael calls inbounder for Ontario. He's going to pace back and forth on the baseline. Finds Rio, gets that ball in. Rio works his way back to the middle of the court. Charges up the right side. Nice pass up to Cody Caldwell, who's open across half court and puts it in for a try. Nice heads up from the youngster there. Berta calls inbounder for Germany, makes her way back. Finds Michael, who uses his height to get that ball in. Pops it up to Marco, who's open over the top. Nice try from Germany. Cody finds Mike on the right side of the court. Tries to come back to the middle, but there's a German defender waiting for him. So he dishes it back to Cody. Streaks across half. 2-on-1. Finds Rio. Rio catches and scores. Again, Michael from Germany works his way down. He's going to try to use his height to get that ball in for Germany. Berta finds Marco, though, in the middle of the court, who draws a crowd. Looking for a long pass. There it goes. Oh, just a little bit off aim there and goes out of bounds, so that's going to be Ontario ball. Cody finds Michael, who looks up court, finds Rio wide open for an easy goal for Ontario. Berta making her way down for the inbound for Germany. Michael's in his spot, gets that ball in, works towards the middle of the court, picks up Berta, and cuts back across. Pops it over half to Marco, who's wide open for an easy try for Germany. Cody with the inbound for Ontario, finds Whitey on the left side. Back to Cody. Another 2-on-1 for Ontario. Cody forces the defender to come to him and ditches it off to Rio. Nicely executed for the Ontario athletes. Berta gets it into Michael, who's battling two Ontario defenders here. Pressure's on. Manages to pop that ball out to Marco, who flings it over the top. Florian's trying to track it down, and he brings it in for the try. Nice job from the German low pointer to track that ball down. Cody makes his way back, finds Eric for the quick give and go. Marco's pressuring that, backs into the low point, forces Cody to the left side. Cody's great speed though, gets him across half, pulls up. Good decision not to pass it to Rio there. He saw Marco recovering into the passing lane, so that pass most likely would have been picked off if he had chose to pass it to Rio. So he's going to pull up, run down this clock, and go for the last goal. Oh, pass is a little off, and that's going to be a turnover. Germany's going to look to inbound in the corner. They have 18 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if they can score. Ball comes into Michael, uses his height. Finds Marco wide open over the top. Marco pulls up. Weaving his way. Ontario's dropped back in the key. Finds the open side and puts it through for Germany, who secures the last goal. And I think that's going to be all, folks. Ontario 57, Germany 49. Thank you for joining us for this exciting game of wheelchair rugby. Tomorrow we're going to be broadcasting the 1:30 game between Germany and Alberta. It's set to be a very exciting game. Alberta's been playing very well this tournament. They have some very, very fast players, and I expect a great match. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.